Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2018 Garland Sports Hall of Fame banquet and induction ceremony, our 32nd such event honoring the accomplishments of athletes in the Tri-City area. My name is Atticus Wisner. I'm Director of Human Resources for our GISD middle schools and high schools, and it is once again my distinct honor to be with you all once again this year. Continued thanks to Mr. Dennis Wedgehoff for being so gracious as to extend me an offer to MC this great event another year. It doesn't bother me at all that I was Dennis's third choice. You know, I know that Lonnie Nichols couldn't do it because he had a date tonight and was going to the Western Sizzler in Waxahachie, but he obviously broke that because I saw him here. That's a buffet situation, so Lonnie, I understand. The other person who rejected Dennis's offer is none other than our former superintendent, Curtis Colwell, but Curtis charges $20,000 for any speaking event outside of Austin, and so that was a little too pricey for the hall. All I want is dinner and a parking pass, and I'm here, so I'm happy to do this, and thanks again, Mr. Wedgehoff. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, if you like that, there's a lot more coming, people. We do have a number of people who were able to be here tonight, and we're very grateful for their presence and their continued support of the hall. So I'm going to go around and ask certain people to stand, and if we'll hold our applause till the end, and we can applaud collectively for everyone at the end. If the following people would please stand and be recognized. We have the Mayor of Garland here tonight, Doug Athis. We have the Mayor Pro Tem, just like my faculty meetings used to go. No one listens, but that's okay. The Mayor Pro Tem, David Gibbons, is here as well. Members of the Garland City Council are here, including Mr. Jerry Nickerson. We also have members of the GISD School Board tonight that are with us here. Mr. Johnny Beach, Mr. Jed Reed, Ms. Linda Griffin, and Mr. Jamie Miller. Thank you guys for your support of the Hall of Fame. We also have a number of the GISD leadership here tonight with us. Dr. Linda Chance is here, Dr. Jovan Wells, Dr. Brett Ringo, my boss, Dr. Gradine Brown, Mr. Joel Falcone, Dr. Wendy Eldridge, Dr. Jeffrey Miller, Donna Urich, Cliff Odenwald, and also all the high school principals and all of the coaches. Thank you for all the support and work you do and all the support you give to these athletes. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much. Also, I want to recognize the board members of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. If you're here, please stand up and be recognized. Your tireless work on behalf of the hall is a great thing. Thank you all very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. And one last group of people I want to recognize. If you are a past inductee to the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, please stand so you can be recognized at this time. If you are a member, a past member, an inductee. Thank you. Current member. Thank you. Thanks to all those people. And since we are awarding the Superintendent's Cup tonight, I would certainly be remiss if I did not recognize Garland ISD's newest Superintendent, Dr. Ricardo Lopez. Dr. Lopez. Thank you. Before we get started, I do want to take a moment to recognize two GISD sports teams who performed exceptionally well this season. Both the girls basketball team from Saxe High School and the boys basketball team from South Garland High School qualified for the 6A state tournament in San Antonio this year. Let's give it up for them. Very, very difficult to get to state in any level of sport, and so we want to congratulate the schools, the players, and the coaches affiliated with those programs. You make all of us in GISD very, very proud. Congratulations once again. And now to discuss our youth sports donations, please welcome Mr. Ralph Mills.
Good evening, and thanks for coming out to the Garland Sports Hall of Fame banquet. Like many of you, our rooting cause for our foundation is to support our young people. And tonight we want to honor our young people, our sports leagues. And many of you, our sports leagues are most important to our success here at Garland. So I want to bring up for our scholarship, which is a $1,000 scholarship for each organization. These members, a representative of these members will please come up and say a little bit about the donation. Thank you. So, Garland Track Club. Do we have anyone up for the Garland Track Club? All right. South Garland Little League. South Garland Little League. Representative for the South Garland Little League. The Gardner Little League. The Gardner Little League. Garland Pee Wee Football.
Thank you. I'd like to graciously accept this donation on behalf of the Garland Track Club, who's been around for about 50 years, adding to the sports teams here in Garland, and we'd like to appreciate your help. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame for sponsoring South Garland Little League. We rely heavily on sponsorship money to keep our costs down. This is our 60th year this year. I wanted to shout out to somebody in the audience that holds a record for the most home runs hit at 12 years old. Johnny Beach claims he hit 14 home runs. And his wife is shaking her head, so it's got to be true. Thank you again.
I want to thank Garland. Sorry, guys, I wasn't expecting to talk tonight. But I appreciate everything that Garland's done for Garner Little League. We, too, weigh heavily on sponsorship to help the kids in our area because it's a low-income area, which we, we're appreciative of very much. So we thank you all. Thanks.
I'd like to accept this on behalf of Garland Pee Wee Football. Thank you for the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. Last year, we're proud to say that we provided over $6,000 in financial assistance for the kids to play youth football. Thank you.
Thank you to all those great organizations. On your tables, if you look around, there is items for donations. We're going to come to you a little bit later in the evening and talk to you about how you can support our youth in our organization. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mills. It is now my pleasure to recognize the 2018 Honor Team, where the Hall acknowledges the accomplishments of a former GISD sports team. Tonight's team that we are recognizing is the 2011-2012 Saxe High School girls basketball team, and we'll be showing you a video here.
This year's Garland Sports Hall of Fame honor team is the 2011-2012 Saxe Mustang girls basketball team. Coached by Hall of Famer Donna McCullough, the team achieved many firsts for the school. These include a 13-1 district record, the best in school history, a 31-8 overall record, the first 30-win season for Saxe girls basketball, the first district championship in school history, as well as winning the bi-district and area championships. The team also competed for the Region 2 championship for the first time in school history. Players receiving individual awards include Ushel Tack received All-State recognition as well as District 10-5A Offensive Player of the Year. First Team All-District Honors went to Candace Followell and Lorianne Benjamin. Second Team All-District Honors went to EVA Okafor and Monica Dorsey. And All-District Honorable Mention Honors went to Jasmine Langston and Michelle Chukwujeku. Led by seniors Candace Followell and Ushel Tack, the Mustangs set 9 individual records that still stand today. These include Ushel Tack, points in a season with 577, rebounds in a season with 344, rebounds in a career with 677, and average rebounds per game with 20. Candace Followell set records in assists in a season with 166 and average assists per game with 14. Sophomore Lorianne Benjamin set records for steals in a season with 152, average steals per game with 11, and later set the team record for steals in a career with 304. The Lady Mustangs also excelled in the classroom with 9 students earning academic all-district honors and 5 players selected for the academic all-state team. These include Jasmine Langston, Evie Okafor, Larissa Villarreal, Candace Followell, and Edenim Kukutsi. 4 players were awarded college basketball scholarships. These include Ushel Tack at North Texas, Candace Followell at the University of Arkansas at Fort Smith, Monica Dorsey, currently playing at Texas College, and Lorianne Benjamin, currently playing at Texas Wesleyan University. Ucel Tak also played professionally for Helios, Switzerland. Congratulations to the 2011-2012 Saxe girls basketball team, our Garland Sports Hall of Fame honor team.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coach of that team and current girls basketball coach at Saxe High School, Donna McCullough.
Hello. Thank you, first of all, to the selection committee for honoring this team. Of course, I feel like they're very deserving of this honor and did accomplish quite a lot as they went through that season. My coaches, as always, are still working for me, and they took some notes before we started. First of all, this team was special. They were very special, and they were comprised of a group of players that were some were very experienced and some were not experienced at all. Some didn't play basketball until they were freshmen on the high school campus, and some played quite a lot. So we had a group of girls that worked really hard and worked really well together, but accomplished quite a lot. That's kind of unusual. Now when you get on the high school campus, a lot of the young players think that you have to be on the varsity team right off the bat, and that's the only way that you're going to find success. But this group really did not do that. They went from a freshman class that went from a freshman team to the JV team and then developed into a varsity player. So that was kind of special with this team. We were still a fairly young program, and so until this year, we had set goals for our team that were a little bit lower and just trying to reach the goals that we set. So we were just really trying to get 20 wins a game and make the playoffs until this year. This group had a different sort of mindset. They set goals very, very high for themselves. They wanted a district championship, and they wanted to get to the regional tournament. And so that's what their goal was at the very beginning of the year. As the video said, we did finish as district champions with a 13-1 record, and we did make it to the regional tournament. On the way to the regional tournament after that district championship, we really weren't expected to win after the by-district game. Nobody picked us to win. We weren't in any newspaper article. We weren't ranked anywhere else. Every team that we played against had a better record, more Division I signed kids on their team, higher ranked than we were, much like the team that we had this year that went to the state tournament. So again, we weren't expected to win again after that by-district game. But this team had no fear of the competition. They were ready every game that came up the next round. They were competitive. Their mindset was great, and they bought into all of our game planning and getting them ready for the next competition. They started playing their best at the right time of the year, and they had great team chemistry. Really, that only happens when players don't care who gets credit for what's going on. They don't care who gets credit for the scoring, the rebounding, the steals. That's when you have really good team chemistry. That's what happens. They were a great group to coach, very respectful, worked really hard, and fun to be around. And that's special when that happens. We went into the playoffs, and through each round, we had to change our game planning a lot. We had to change our philosophy of defense a lot, especially when we ran into the Woodlands. They had a 6'5" post girl that we had to kind of change our philosophy of defense with, but the kids really bought into that and just really believed everything that we wanted them to do. Our last game in the regional final, and as Attica said earlier, it's really, really hard to get to the state tournament. It's hard to get to the regional tournament. So in that game with Decaney, with 26 seconds to go in the game, we were still just 1 point down. And we did everything we could, of course, trying to win that game, but we did not come up with the win. This game still brings up a lot of emotion for these players. They, last night, after, had them on a group text, and we were texting back and forth with them, and they said if we could just have that game over again, if we could just have a redo. A great life lesson in that game is, there are no redos. You have to show up and you have to compete every time. I heard from a lot of these players this year when we went to the regional tournament. They called, texted, congratulations, and saying things like, if we could only, what if we had done this? And so it was a great experience for them. I want to, at this time, if we could have the players come up on the stand. I'm going to recognize all the players that are on the roster. Of course, first of all, Monica Dorsey. She was a guard for us that year. She is at Texas College playing right now. She's going to graduate and hopefully be a coach. We're talking to her about that. Jasmine, she's next. Jasmine Langston. She was a post for us, and she's studying to get into medical school. CJ is working for BSN Sports, so anybody needs to contact BSN, there's CJ. And Lolo's at Texas Wesleyan, and she is playing right now with one more year of eligibility, and hopefully she's also going to go into coaching. So great field of work for them. The rest of the girls, it's really hard to get everybody here, so some of them called. Larissa called this afternoon and said she had some car trouble on the way. She came all the way from Austin, got stuck in Waco, and had to turn around and go back. So it's really hard, those that are in school or very far away, to get here. Again, a great job by this group of girls this year, and they truly set the bar for girls basketball at Sachse High School. A high bar for everybody to reach. It's hard to get to the regional tournament, and so every team after this group we compared them to. So we talked about this group every year to every team. And this year, my team that did make it to the regional final and did win that game, they said to me, "Coach, you can't talk about them anymore. Now you have to talk about us." So we passed the bar, but they did. They truly set the bar for giving us the possibility and the thought in mind that we could make the state tournament. So thank you for all your hard work and all that you did for us. And again, one last thing, in the video, you saw the records that they set, but they graduated from Sachse, at least most of them for 6 years ago, and they still own the record board. So their name is covered on a record board that we have outside of our locker room. So still, they set records that are really, really hard to break. Thank you, girls, and thank you for the honor. We really appreciate it. Oh, hey, hold on. I forgot to introduce my coaches. And where's Coach House? Coach House, you got to come up here too. Y'all almost got out of it. Coach House, she's on her way, but she's our athletic director. We call her Coach. So she was with us the entire time. She's athletic trainer, I'm sorry. Did I say that, director? So she kept us healthy, safe, ready to compete on every game. And I do remember that we had our point guard, Candace, that had one of our key players had a thumb injury. So she had a serious job that tournament to keep her healthy. And Alexis Hill was my JV coach and varsity assistant, and now she is the head coach at Rowlett. And Katie Kelly was my freshman basketball coach, and she is now just a math teacher at, a math teacher at Allen High School. And she's got 2 small kids, so she's not coaching right now, but hopefully one day she'll be back coaching again. Rory Bacheski was my varsity assistant. He went back to Michigan. He lives there now, and it was very hard for him to get here, but he wanted to be here for us tonight too. But thank you guys for everything you did for us that year in building that program.
All right, thank you, Coach McCullough, and once again, congratulations to the 2011-12 Sachse girls basketball team. Continuing with the theme of recognizing the talented athletes of Garland ISD, it's my distinct honor to recognize the nominees for the Gail Fields Award. The namesake of this award, Gail Fields, had a vision back in 1986 to recognize outstanding young athletes in our community. The Garland Sports Hall of Fame would not exist without the dream that Mr. Fields had over 30 years ago. If I could please have the Fields family stand. I believe they're seated over here to my left. We could all give them a round of applause. Thank you, and we appreciate your family, and we certainly appreciate the vision of Mr. Fields. Tonight, we will be recognizing 14 Gail Fields Award nominees, 7 female athletes, and 7 male athletes, representing all 7 high schools in GISD. These athletes have previously been recognized at a GISD school board meeting with individual awards of excellence. Tonight represents additional confirmation that these young people represent the best in athletics, scholarship, and service among all GISD students. Congratulations to all the nominees and all the nominees' families. And I'm glad you could tear yourself away from Fortnite for an evening to come be with us here tonight, kids. At this time, I will introduce the 7 female nominees. So nominees, as I call your name, please approach the stage and receive your certificate. Dr. Lopez is going to come up, and he is going to give you your certificate. And I will be reading your biographies as you walk up here. So we will start with the female Gail Fields nominees. The first nominee is Caden Etheridge. Caden, if you would please come up here. Caden is an outstanding student athlete at Rowlett High School, where she excelled in soccer as a 2-time special teams MVP, a 2-time first-team All-District, and was named captain her senior year. She has also been a 3-year volunteer soccer coach for 3 to 4-year-olds at the Rockwall Indoor Sports Expo. Caden has maintained a 4.0 GPA with a class rank of 41 and will graduate as an honor graduate. Caden has committed and signed with Hardin-Simmons University, where she will attend this fall. Congratulations, Caden. The next nominee is Victoria Gunther. Victoria, if you would please come to the stage. Victoria is a 4-year standout softball player for the Naaman Forest High School Ranger Ladies softball team. Victoria is a 2-time first-team All-District co-MVP of the team and team captain. In addition to sports, Victoria is heavily involved in her church, participating in numerous mission trips and conferences, including a Nicaraguan mission trip in 2018. She is currently participating in the Firefighters Academy class at the Gilbert Reed Technology Center and wants to fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming a firefighter. Congratulations, Victoria. The next nominee is Taylor Jones. Taylor participates in cross country and track and field for North Garland High School. Taylor, at the varsity level, achieved area qualifier in the 4x400 twice and in the 800 meter. She was also a cross country regional qualifier this year. Taylor has earned the GISD Academic Excellence Award for her 3.0 plus GPA for 3 years in a row, the NAACP Academic Excellence Award, and the College Board AP Scholar Award. Taylor is considering attending Notre Dame, the University of Texas at Arlington, the University of Texas at Dallas, and Abilene Christian University. Congratulations, Taylor. The next nominee is Tina Q. Tina has been a varsity tennis athlete 3 of her last 4 years at Sachse High School. She is the captain of the varsity tennis team that has won the 2017 and 2018 district team championships. Tina had never played tennis before going to Sachse and has worked hard to attain both team and individual district titles. She has a strong academic background and is ranked 4th in her class with a 4.6 GPA. Tina, yes, congratulations. Tina has been accepted to the University of Texas at Austin and the University of Texas at Dallas, earning the President's Scholarship at UTD and the Scholarship of Academic Excellence at UT Austin. Congratulations, Tina. Our next nominee is Margaret Reimer. Margaret. Margaret is a two-sport athlete for Lakeview Centennial High School, where she participates in volleyball and track. Margaret is captain of the volleyball team, earning first team all-district, and also is the captain of the track team and a member of the 4x400 relay team, which set the district record of 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Margaret has been a Buddy League volunteer for 2 years and has also served the North Texas Food Bank for 3 years. Margaret will be an honors grad in the top 6% of her graduating class. She has received academic scholarships to both the University of West Virginia and the University of Texas. Congratulations, Margaret. The next nominee is Samari Stillwell. Samari has played for the South Garland girls basketball team for the past 4 years. She is a rare blend of determination and self-discipline and is an exceptional teammate. Samari earned multiple awards in South Garland High School's basketball program, including honorable mention all-district, and was recognized for her offensive skill on the court. Samari has managed to maintain a job and take pre-AP classes. She is undecided at this time where she will continue her education. Congratulations, Samari. You're welcome. The next nominee is Sierra Stone. Sierra played varsity softball all 4 years at Garland High School. She earned first team all-district twice, District 10-6A Offensive Player of the Year, was co-captain of the softball team, and won team offensive MVP titles. During her senior year, Sierra won all GHS, Most Athletic, was nominated for Most Talented, Class Favorite, and Best Personality. She has volunteered at Lake Point Medical Center, DRMC, and GISD. Sierra has maintained a 4.73 GPA. Sierra will attend Northwestern State University in the fall, where she will continue her education on a softball scholarship. Congratulations, Sierra. You want to announce the winner?
Let's give another round of applause to these extraordinary young ladies. The winner of the 2008 Gail Fields Award this year goes to Sierra Stone.
Sierra will be awarded a $1,000 scholarship from the Hall. If NCAA rules prohibit this award, the money will go to the softball program at Garland High School. And now we're going to move on to our male athlete nominees. We're going to start. The first nominee is Lazaro Garcia Salazar. Lazaro was a 3-year starter in football, earning all-district honors in both his junior and senior year, a member of the South Garland Colonel Leadership Council, and a team captain. Lazaro also lettered in powerlifting for 4 years and was a state qualifier his junior year. And now in his senior year, he is currently ranked number 1 in the region in both the 242 and the 275-pound weight classes. Also, this is hot off the presses, he just placed 4th in the state powerlifting meet this year, so congratulations. He was also a 3-year letter winner in track, where he threw both the shot and discus. Off the field, he is involved in multiple hours of community service with his teammates, including volunteer hours at Christmas on the Square, as well as many other community events. Lazaro is undecided at this time where he will continue his education. Congratulations. Yes, sir. The next nominee is Jacob Garris. Jacob played football for 4 years at Garland High School. Jacob's coach has stated that Jacob has shown him how to be a great leader. Work hard, be tireless, be humble, and have your priorities in order. Love your teammates, love your family, and love your Lord. Jacob is heavily involved with the youth ministry at his church in choir, mission trips, and setting up church classes and events. Other volunteer service includes a mission trip each summer, doing everything from homeless ministry to construction to beautification. Jacob has maintained a 5.1 GPA with a current class ranking of 17. Jacob is currently considering Baylor, Texas Tech, and Texas A&M. Congratulations, Jacob. Our next nominee is Jalen Maiden. Jalen has been a two-sport athlete at Sanxie High School, excelling in football and track. Jalen has participated in both sports all 4 years, earning 3 varsity letters in football and 2 varsity letters in track. An all-around student athlete, Jalen was named All SHS as voted by his teachers, nominated to the homecoming court as voted by his peers, and he participates in various organizations within his community and school. He has founded the See Me Beyond charity, in which he organizes food drives that provide for homeless shelters throughout several communities. He is a self-taught pianist and plays for a church in Terrell, as well as volunteering his talent at local nursing homes. Through all of his hard work in football and numerous awards, Jalen has earned a full scholarship to play football at Mississippi State University, where he will enroll in the fall. Hail State. Congratulations, Jalen. Our next nominee is Cesar Montemayor. Cesar is a two-sport athlete in soccer and cross country at Naaman Forest High School. His life experiences have made Cesar self-reliant and a formidable leader, which has helped him to succeed in both the classroom and on the athletic fields. Cesar volunteers his time at Golden Meadows Elementary in the library, at the Texas State Fair, Little Hands in the Farm exhibition, and maintains involvement in many other community service projects. Cesar has earned a 4.07 GPA and has a current class ranking of 22. Cesar is planning on attending Richland Community College in the fall. Congratulations, Cesar. Our next nominee is Nicholas Renee. Nicholas has excelled in basketball at Lakeview Centennial High School, where he earned 4 varsity letters. Highlights include 2-time district champions, bi-district champion, and being recognized as a 4-time first-team all-district basketball selection. He scored 1,630 high school career points. Nicholas has volunteered his time to the Buddy League, Salvation Army, Carter's House, and is an Embody member. Nicholas has a 3.88 GPA, which places him in the top 7% of his graduating class, and he will also receive an Associate of Applied Science degree from Eastfield College in May. Nicholas, congratulations. Nicholas is currently reviewing, absolutely. Nicholas is currently reviewing offers from the Air Force Academy, Dallas Baptist University, and York College. Congratulations, Nicholas. Our next nominee is Emmanuel Nawahi. Emmanuel has competed in both football and track and field while attending North Garland High School. He was a 2-year honorable mention at running back, a 2-year member of the area qualifying track 4x2 and 4x1 relay teams, a 3-year letterman in football and track, and captain of the football team. Emmanuel volunteers weekly at the Golden Christian Life Mission Church and at YB, which is Youth Believing in Change, a yearly summer program. Because of his hard work and his dedication, Emmanuel will be a student and a football player at Southern Nazarene University. Congratulations, Emmanuel. Our final nominee is Mr. Emmett Seals, Jr. Emmett is a 2-sport athlete in football and track and field for Rowlett High School. He earned all-district first-team defensive back, cornerback in football, and in track he excelled as a sprinter as district 400-meter and 4x100-meter relay champion, 10-6A district and area champions, state qualifier in the 4x100 relay, and received the RHS MVP Sprinter Award shared with the 4x100 relay team. Emmett has been very active in Jack and Jill of America Incorporated, Beta Club, and Mount Hebron Missionary Baptist Church Youth Ministry. He has earned numerous awards to include the President's Bronze Volunteer Award, the Jack and Jill of America Service Award, and the NAACP Garland Branch Image Award, and will receive a GISD 21st Century Scholar Award at graduation. Emmett is considering attending Southern Arkansas, Texas A&M Commerce, or Angelo State in the fall. Congratulations, Emmett.
Another round of applause for our 7 finalists. All our female athletes and male athletes are winners. So to represent your high school is a great honor. This year's Gail Fields Award for Male Athlete of the Year for 2018 goes to Jalen Maiden.
Congratulations, guys. All of y'all, congratulations. Congratulations once again to our winners and to all the Gail Fields nominees. And now, to announce the winner of the 2018 Superintendent's Cup, none other than the superintendent himself, Dr. Lopez. Yeah, we're not announcing it? Are we,
This is last year's.
oh, Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis, not the winners?
No, not
Don't
the
announce
winners.
the winners.
Yeah, because these winners are from last year, and so there's a tradition in Garland, a rich tradition of the Superintendent's Cup, and it's to honor the top middle school and high school athletic programs. And what they do is they combine the ratings for middle schools for both boys and girls athletics throughout the year. So obviously the year isn't finished, and it's a traveling trophy, kind of like the Stanley Cup, but better because it's from Garland. Right? We don't need no Canadian Cup. And so, so last year's high school award that combined all their wins for both girls and boys athletics is Saxe High School. So let's give Saxe a round of applause. The season's not over. So we'll see who gets it. They have a barbecue coming up, and that's when they're going to announce the winners. For the middle school from last year, and I'm going to share this with my daughter because she's going to be a little fired up because she doesn't attend this middle school, but Brandenburg Middle School is last year's Superintendent's Cup Award winner. So in Garland, I know Cliff Oldenwald talks to me all the time, and we're all about competition. And we talk to each other. We're going to allow another district in our district next year. And we talk about, we have a brother and sister rivalry here, so you always want to beat your brother and sister, but nobody else should, right? So when that outside district comes, I hope we have that spirited attitude, that we'll have a united front against anybody that comes in our territory. And this Superintendent's Cup is not to share with them. So spread the word. Have a beautiful night. It's great to meet a lot of you, and let's celebrate these excellent scholar athletes. Thank you.
Just to translate what he's saying is next year, destroy Wiley. That's what he wanted to say. Okay. So we'll give that trophy out at the annual Coaches Barbecue Luncheon, which is in August. And when we have all the coaches from across the district get together, we'll deliver that award. And so Garland High School, my son's down at regionals trying to get to state to get y'all some more points. So hopefully we'll get Garland some points. All right, moving right along. Before we move on to the Garland Sports Hall of Fame 2018 inductees, we would like to take this opportunity to remember a former GISD athlete, without question one of the most accomplished athletes in GISD's storied history, Mr. Bobby Boyd, and we have a video tribute to Mr. Boyd.
Bobby Boyd reached the pinnacle of his favorite sport of football at the high school, college, and professional levels. He earned All-State and All-American honors at Garland High School, as well as All-American honors at the University of Oklahoma. Bobby later became an All-Pro for the National Football League's Baltimore Colts. Even though Bobby was a four-sport standout for the Owls, he is best remembered for his accomplishments in football. He was Garland's first Scholastic All-American in 1955 and was twice selected as an All-State halfback following the 1954 and 1955 seasons. As a senior, Bobby amassed 1,718 yards rushing, 227 yards receiving, and scored 26 touchdowns. He also intercepted 10 passes that season while playing in the defensive secondary. Bobby is still the Owls' all-time leader in total rushing, scoring, and interceptions. He accounted for 3,150 yards on the ground, averaging 7.19 yards per carry, 35 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions during his varsity career. He also starred in basketball, baseball, and track during his years at GHS. In basketball, he was named Honorable Mention All-State as a junior and Second Team All-State as a senior, where he averaged 26.2 points per game. Bobby continued to excel in football at the University of Oklahoma as a member of Bud Wilkinson's program, where he helped lead the Sooners to a pair of Big 8 conference championships. In 1959, he was chosen as the All-Big 8 quarterback and also received All-American recognition. After graduating from OU, Bobby spent 9 seasons in the NFL with the Baltimore Colts. During his distinguished career, he received All-Pro cornerback honors 4 times, and he was chosen to the NFL 1960s All-Decade team. His great defensive instincts helped him intercept a total of 57 passes for the Colts, a mark that ranks him first in the Colts organization and 13th on the all-time interceptions list. Bobby was the first inductee into the Garland Football Hall of Fame in 1987. He set the bar high for future inductees. When Bobby passed away in 2017, he was still very involved in the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, serving as vice president. This year marks the 24th consecutive year that the Garland Sports Hall of Fame's annual fundraiser golf tournament has been named in his honor. His contributions to Garland ISD both on and off the field will forever be honored and remembered by the Garland Sports Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby's wife, Wanda Boyd.
I should have had a backup. I thank the Garland Sports Hall of Fame Board for tonight. He was an active member of the board from the time they organized, which was about 25 years ago. Bobby was very proud of the accomplishments that the board had made, the things they had done for the sports to help the sports program in our city. He had a strong belief in the benefits of sports. He played every sport that he could in high school. Football, basketball. He had a track record that I don't think most people, they knew his football records and his basketball records, but he had the broad jump record for quite a while. And I don't know how he managed to do all of that, except that he was always very healthy. He took no medicines on a daily basis until the week before he died, and that was just pain medicine. And even when he was playing for the University of Oklahoma, he wanted to play basketball also. And he asked Coach Wilkinson if he would let him do that. But Coach Wilkinson said that he wouldn't have time to because he was moving him to the position of quarterback, and they would be having a lot of one-on-one meetings, and that there just wouldn't be time for him to do that. And he was disappointed that he wouldn't be able to play basketball also, but he was really looking forward to spending the time with Coach Wilkinson. He always had a really good relationship with his coaches. I never heard him criticize a coach in all the time that he played. Well, except for Homer. No, Homer, he was more than a coach to Bobby. Their relationship started in the 4th grade when he was his playground teacher. And then they on into high school where he was his coach for 4 years. And then he came to so many of the OU games to see Bobby. Homer and Billy visited us in Maryland in our home several times. And so he's really like family. Moving forward, it's been hard for our family. But we do that and feel comfortable because we know that Bobby is now living the life that we as Christians are promised. And so we are taking comfort in that. And it's really nice to be remembered, and we thank you for honoring him tonight and for remembering him. Thank you.
I think Mayor Athos is going to come up and give you something, so give me a second. Oh, thank you. I think, is Mayor Athos here? Are we going to do that right now? Or a proclamation or something? Here we go. Yes. Sorry. Thank you.
This is a proclamation from the mayor's office. I'm not going to read it to you. It's in your program. I saw most of you reading that while you were trying to find the answers to Atticus's quiz. But it goes on a lot, and I just want to say, just personally, I feel so fortunate to have been able to know Bobby Boyd. I dropped my son off at high school. I don't know why Atticus had everybody get there at 7:30 in the morning, but he did. Well, what are you going to do in the morning when you drop your son off? There's nothing left to do except go to Hubbard's and eat breakfast. And I'd see Bobby there with Alvin Moore, and they'd be having breakfast, and I'd always talk to him, and sometimes they'd tell me some stories and things, and he was just a very special person. So I want to present this special recognition to you. I'll just read the final whereases. Whereas the members of the City Council recognize and honor the legacy of Bobby Boyd for his service and dedication to the community. On this day, April 25th, 2018, now therefore I, Douglas Athos, Mayor of the City of Garland, together with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition on Bobby Boyd. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite Brian Cheek from Balfour to the podium. There he is. Wow, he heard me from the lobby. Brian, on behalf of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, we want to thank you and Balfour for your continued support of not just the hall, but for your family's ongoing support of all things Garland, Rowlett, and Sachse. Ladies and gentlemen, Balfour is the title sponsor for this event. They donate the rings and the pendants for all the inductees and provide tremendous support to the hall. Thank you very much, Brian, and thanks to Balfour. The hall would also like to acknowledge our bronze level sponsors. Their individual support of the hall continues to allow us to recognize the great athletes of this community. So if I call your name or your organization's name, please stand and be recognized. We want to recognize Don and Sidna Gordon for their support of the hall, Linda Price for her support of the hall, Athletic Supply, and Hellas Construction. Thank you all for your sincerity in supporting the hall's efforts. Okay, without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce the first 2018 inductee into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. But before I do that, I need to bring something to your attention. There's an error in the program. Brianna was not coached by Donna McCullough, as the program states. She was coached by Cindy Mosteller and Jennifer Sisson. So they grabbed me by the tie on the way in here, the Garland High Table, and made me want to correct that. So just want to make that correction. So really, with no further ado, our first 2018 inductee into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, former Owl, Brianna Love, and we have a video for Brianna.
Brianna Love was a stellar third baseman for the Garland High School Owls softball team. During her high school career, she earned numerous accolades that include 2004 District Newcomer of the Year, 2005 through 2007 First Team All-District, 2006 Texas Sports Writer Association All-State Team, 2007 DFW All-Area Team, 2007 Texas All-State Team, 2007 State All-Tournament Team, and 2007 Garland Sports Hall of Fame Gail Fields Award winner. Brianna was coached by Garland Sports Hall of Famer Cindy Mosteller at GHS. Under her leadership, the Owls were named 5A state runner-up and also won back-to-back 5A state championships in 2006 and 2007, the first 5A team to win consecutive state titles. After graduating from Garland in 2007, Brianna continued her softball and educational career at the University of Louisiana at Monroe. Brianna earned first-team NFCA NCAA Division I All-South Region in 2009 and 2011, and second-team honors in 2010. Sun Belt Conference awards include 2008 through 2011 All-Louisiana Team, 2009 through 2011 First-Team All-Conference and All-Tournament Team. Sun Belt Conference awards include 2008 through 2011 All-Louisiana Team, 2009 through 2011 First-Team All-Conference and All-Tournament Team, 2010 and 2011 Preseason Player of the Year and Sixth Player and Hitter of the Week titles. She started 212 of 215 games, most at the position of center field and leadoff batter, and recorded a .966 fielding percentage with 43 outfield assists. Brianna's senior year capped one of the best careers in ULM history. That year, she set the ULM single-season records for home runs with 16 and runs scored with 61. Brianna ended her career holding 7 ULM career and 9 single-season records. These records include the career home run record with 45, the career runs scored record with 165, and the single-season and career walks record of 47 and 127 respectively. She was consistently rated one of the top 50 NCAA players in multiple categories. In 2011, Brianna graduated from ULM with a degree in business administration. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Brianna Love.
Well, hi. How's everybody doing? Before I jump into everything, I'll let everybody know I'm an introvert at heart, so it's really hard for me to talk to large amounts of people. So if something happens, just bear with me and just laugh it off. First and foremost, thank you all for being here to celebrate this moment with me, myself, and all the rest of the inductees. To be completely honest, I don't think I really had a chance to not be involved in any type of sport. I was born in a overly competitive sports family. My sister, my mom, my dad, they were all athletes of some sort. When we were younger, my parents exposed us to everything. We were in tap, ballet, gymnastics, softball, basketball, modeling, volleyball. Like, the list was never ending. My sister is 4 years older than me, so I was always at her games. And they would practice, situational things. They would need base runners, and I'd be the one out there in a helmet trying to run around the bases and make them throw me out or anything of that sort. Sorry. It was there that my love for softball grew, and I started to learn the game and everything, the ins and outs. When I finally became of age, my parents signed me up a team in the GGSA and kind of sent me on my way and was like, okay, stop running around your sister's bases. It's your turn, to be yourself. So I can tell you, from the very first team that I started with to the last team I played with, I had incredible coaches. My first coach was Curtis Kopfer, and having to teach 4 to 5-year-olds takes a lot of patience, but he knew the game and he knew how to teach us, and so we could understand it. My select coaches, Kevin Shelton, who brought together probably one of the most talented groups of softball players in North Texas. We traveled and were pushed to play against some of the toughest competition around. To high school with Coach Moss and Coach Robo, they took the talent that the school had and made us champions. I mean, throughout those 4 years, we also ran a couple of foul poles here and there, but we needed it. I'll say it that way. Moss reinforced the fundamentals of the game and never strayed away from making it all fun. We were a strong team with a lot of talent and a lot of different personalities, but our coaches made sure that the team never lost sight of the goal and emphasized that if we worked together as a team, we could be unstoppable. Moss and Robo led us to three years in a row to state, and 2 of those years we won back-to-back state champs. Now, to college, which was a little bit more difficult for me. I was always on a successful team. My college career wasn't the best team out there, but my head coach for all 4 years was Coach Holloway Hill, And she never lost her drive and never doubted any of her athletes. Just to give you a little insight of her passion, I'm going to tell you a little story about her. Every year in August, I went to school in Louisiana. It was hot. We always had to pass some type of conditioning test. Well, it's my senior year. It's humid. It's muggy. It's 3 o'clock. There's no clouds in the sky. And we had to run half-gassers. So we had to pass 8 out of 10, and we knew it was coming, but we still were struggling along the way. I made my first 8. I was good, but I passed, and I wasn't feeling the best. I went over and started hugging a trash can for a little bit, and I came back to finish mine. When I finally recovered, I was like, Coach, will you time me so I could finish my last 2? I started running, the time started, and she's just running with me, and she's yelling. She was like, are you wanting to be an All-American? Do you want to be an All-American? Just all over. And I'm like, how is she keeping up with me? How is this even possible right now? But, she was always there, always yelling and cheering us on. I definitely can't forget about our assistant coach, Coach Vogt. She wasn't there at the start of my college career, but she joined in the later half, and she was a breath of fresh air. The whole team elevated to another level. She was knowledgeable, made us more aggressive, and aware of the different things to push us to the next level. Vogt and I had a connection around the love of the game and being overly competitive. If I asked her, she would come early, stay late, just to help me figure out what was going on with my game, and she was a huge reason I was successful at ULM. I've talked to you all about the coaches that made an impact on my career and helped me become the athlete that I was. But the coach that I owe it all to is my dad, Donnie Love. Sorry. Now, don't get me wrong. My mom and sister were always supportive. My mom would soft toss to me. My sister would take the time of me running around the softball field when I needed to work out. But my dad was the coach. He helped on all my teams I played on throughout the years. And made little contraptions to make sure that I knew what I was doing and different ways to make sure that I practiced and when I needed to. For example, there was a day like today that it was rainy outside and I was in a slump, a bad hitting slump, and it was awful. Like, I don't think I could get out of a wet paper bag or anything. But he went out in the garage, got a PVC pipe, our smallest wiffle balls we had in the house, and started pitching me inside. I was in the entryway, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'm hitting, and the next thing I know, the PVC pipe flies out of my hand, straight up to the ceiling, and knocks a hole in the wall, and I'm like, oh, God. So I turn and I look at my dad, and he was like, well, if you were swinging level, you would have taken out the mantle and not put a hole in my ceiling. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. Even in college, when my parents would travel to watch the series, there were multiple times where I would call him and ask if he could come down a little early and help me figure out what was going wrong. There would be nobody at the field but us, and we'd stay until I was comfortable. If I had a bad game, I'd walk out the dugout, tell my dad, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and he just looked at me and said, yeah, you're right, but you'll get it next time. I want you all to understand that I'm honored and humbled to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, but I'm only able to be inducted due to the people that supported me throughout the years. If I had a different set of coaches, a different set of teammates, and a family that was not as supportive as mine, I wouldn't be here today. So I'd like to thank my teammates, my coaches, my family, and all of you for being here to share this moment with us. God bless you. That's it.
I'll give this to you.
Okay. Oh, you're making me nervous.
As Brianna was talking, I realized we had some things in common. We're both introverts. Now, this is from the Office of the Mayor, special recognition. This is to you. Again, I'm not going to read it because the information is in the program. I'll sum it up by saying, now, therefore, I, Douglas Athas, the Mayor of Garland, together with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition upon Brianna Love.
Thank you.
And my niece's name is Brianna, too.
Oh, good. She's lucky.
Thank you. Way to go, Brianna.
Thanks.
Good job. Thank you, Brianna. Our second 2018 inductee into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame was a standout baseball player in Garland. Although, George, as good as you were, my dad said you could not hit him. Mr. George Lyons, we have a video tribute to George.
George Lyons began his athletic career at an early age, becoming an all-star in the East Garland Little League. He began high school at Garland and completed his junior and senior years at the newly opened South Garland High School. He is a member of South's first graduating class of 1966. During his high school career, George was a standout performer as a guard in basketball and as a catcher in baseball. He was the 1964 Junior Amateur Baseball Player of the Year for Dallas County, a 1965 and 1966 All-District Basketball and Baseball Team honoree, and a two-time recipient of the McCullough MVP Basketball Award. As the leading basketball scorer in District 6-3A, George led South Garland to its first bi-district title in 1966, the campus's second year. George continued his baseball career and education after accepting a partial scholarship from Baylor University. Due to his outstanding performance as a freshman, he received a full scholarship covering the next 3 years. Upon graduating from Baylor with a Bachelor of Science in 1970, George returned to Garland ISD as a coach and teacher at O'Banion Middle School and Garland High School. He later became an assistant principal at South Garland High School and a principal at Brandenburg Middle School. He was also the first principal of Naaman Forest High School, earning the Region 10 Principal of the Year title in 1996. George joined secondary operations as a director in 1997, and after serving an illustrious 43 years, retired from Garland ISD. George and his wife Janelle live on a ranch in Alba, Texas. The couple has 3 children, Melissa McDonald, Amy Lank, and Clint Lyons, as well as 6 grandchildren. Continuing to support the Garland ISD community, George and Janelle established an annual $250 scholarship for a GISD student pursuing a career in horticulture. They have also sponsored a belt buckle prize for the district's annual livestock show for the past 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, George Lyons.
I didn't know they kept records back then, but I guess they do. So, thank you very much. I'm so blessed and honored to be inducted into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, especially being inducted the same year as Matt Shubzda, one of my former students from Naaman Forest High School. I know this is going to be hard. Matt was an outstanding young man and is a true American hero. I just want Patty and Jim and their family to know what a privilege this is for me. I also want to congratulate Brianna and Donna on being inducted tonight as well. I want to thank my family and dear friends for attending this event. I would like at this time to introduce them. If they would stand, and then you can sit down as soon as possible after I introduce you. Janelle, my wife, Janelle. And let me just say, thank you. She follows orders well. Really, God blessed me with this outstanding woman. And I am so blessed as a husband. And I know our kids feel the same way. They're blessed to have her as their mother. So thank you, Janelle. My daughter, Melissa McDonald. My daughter and son-in-law, Amy and Travis Link. My son and daughter-in-law, Clint and Holly. I've been so blessed to have their love and support as a husband and to have their love and support as a father and grandfather. We are fortunate to have 6 grandchildren ranging from the age from 19 to 3. Also attending tonight is my sister-in-law, Jill Muncie, and my brother-in-law and his wife, Jim and Lisa Starling. My sister, Shirley Belcher, was coming, but she couldn't make it. She had a situation where she couldn't make it, but my older sister. I want to thank some very special friends also for coming tonight. Some traveled quite a distance to be here, and I appreciate them very much. These are friends from South Garland High School, from GISD, and from our small community where we currently live near Alba, Texas, I know all of you know where that is, but that's where we live now. I have just a few things to share with you tonight. God has been good to me. He placed great people in my path who were a positive force in my life. My parents were so loving and supportive of me in all my endeavors. I was raised in a very modest home, but my mom and dad always made sure that my two sisters and myself had what we needed to make it. And most of all, they loved us unconditionally. God has also gave me some athletic ability. The kids I grew up with played outside from sunup to sundown. There was always a baseball game to be played between rival players from different street gangs. Your age really didn't matter. When we weren't playing baseball, we were playing basketball in my backyard on beaten down Bermuda grass on a goal that my dad and I built. Growing up in Garland was a great experience. Garland was small enough to know half of the people in town, and yet large enough to get a good education and have a first-rate sports program. I began playing organized sports in Garland, Pee Wee program, and basketball and football. And yes, I was a proud member of the Darty Hornets, and we won a few turkey bowls along the way. We had no private coaches or select teams. You learned by playing on sandlots and backyards in your neighborhood. Many windows were broken back in those days by young boys playing baseball. I remember Mr. Neely lived down the alley from us. He just happened to have his greenhouse in our center field. We hit fly balls into his windows on a pretty much a daily basis, but what we would do is about once a month go out and take a nickel or a quarter a piece, and we would go buy window panes, and we'd take them to Mr. Neely, and he would always be so happy to see us because we'd give him a couple of hours of something to do to replace his windows. Very nice man. And then there was a gentleman that lived by us by the name of Mr. Johnson. He had some great plum trees, and you know where I'm going with this. We would accidentally hit balls into his plum trees, and boy, did we ever enjoy that, except when we ate too many green ones and we'd be sick the next day. But anyway, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Neely, great people, lived in the neighborhood, great neighbors. I started playing organized baseball with East Garland Little League at Cole Field. And I know we've got some people here that might remember when it was called Cole Field. But anyway, that was back down at what is now Rick Oden Park. There were two different leagues at that time, East Garland Little League and West Garland Little League. And man, was there some competition and competitors between those two when All-Star time came around. We always had a good time with that. I attended Memorial Junior High School, and then my sophomore year, I attended Garland High School. South Garland was under construction at that time, and when it opened, all students living south of Miller and Saturn attended South Garland High School, unless they were seniors. We were fortunate to have great leadership like Dr. R.B. Sewell and wonderful teachers and coaches at South Garland. I played basketball for Coach Mac Percival, and we had a winning senior year, advancing into the regional playoffs. Our baseball team won district our senior year as well, under the leadership of Coach Art Douglas and Coach Doug Gibbons. The first seniors at South Garland never got to play on the ballpark at South Garland. We practiced and played all of our home games at Coat League Field in Garland. Many of you know where the old Coat League Field used to be. That was our home field. My senior year, I was offered a scholarship to play baseball at Baylor University. Byron Willis, a former GISD employee, was the freshman coach at Baylor at that time, and he played a big part in me receiving a scholarship. He recommended me to Coach Dutch Schrader, the head baseball coach at Baylor. Coach Schrader was such a great influence on me, and it was a privilege to have played for him. I graduated from Baylor in 1970 and interviewed for a coaching job with a man that I think we all know named Homer Johnson. Homer hired me, and I began coaching at Garland, first at O'Banion, and then at Garland High School. I coached with some great men, and many of them are here tonight. I also had some great guys on my baseball teams and football teams, and I think some of them are also here tonight. I love coaching, and I've watched those kids grow up to be responsible adults. Somewhere along the way, during all of this, I decided that I needed to go, or might want to go into administration, school administration. Why, I don't know, but I decided that. I got my first administrative position at South Garland High School as an assistant principal. Once again, I was able to help kids just in a different way. I moved on to Brandenburg as principal and then left there to open Naaman Forest High School. I worked with some of the very fine teachers in those three schools. My final position was as director of secondary schools. My desire has always been to help kids, regardless of my position. It touches my heart to see some of those students here tonight. God opens up so many doors for us in our lives, but we often don't see those. His work, and God opens up many doors for us in all of our lives, but we often don't see His work until we do some reflecting. My finest blessing today is my family, and my friends, coaches, teachers, and other school personnel, and my former students have all contributed to who I am today. I appreciate all their love and support over the years. Again, I thank you so much for honoring me with this induction into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. May God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you.
George, I just want you to know that as I travel around, I've had the honor to be all over the United States. And people come up to me all the time and say, "You're the mayor of Garland?" Well, we're from Garland. I grew up in Garland. And I don't know how many of them tell me then, and we were in that first or second class at South Garland High School. They're everywhere. Yeah. So I'd like to present this to you from the Office of the Mayor, special recognition in honor of George Lucas, Garland Sports Hall of Fame inductee. And I'm not going to read this again. In fact, let's just wait. They'll all read it at the same time. Will y'all start reading it? All right. Now, therefore, I, Douglas Athas, Mayor of the City of Garland, together with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition upon George Lyons.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Our third 2018 inductee is the current girls basketball coach at Sachse High School, Coach Donna McCullough, and here is her video.
Donna McCullough is a 1981 graduate from Lake Hamilton High School in Percy, Arkansas. During her time there, she excelled in basketball and volleyball, receiving all district honors in both sports. Donna earned a 4-year scholarship to attend the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, where she still holds basketball career records for shots made and free throw percentage. Donna has 25 years of experience coaching at Garland ISD, 11 years at Garland High School, and 14 years at Sachse High School. She is currently the head basketball coach and girls athletic coordinator at Sachse High School. Throughout her coaching career, Donna's teams have earned 7 district championships, 3 undefeated district seasons including a 41 district game winning streak, 16 playoff appearances, 2 regional championship appearances with 1 title, and 1 state tournament appearance. Donna has 424 career wins to date and has also earned 7 District Coach of the Year honors. Donna has coached numerous award-winning players who received District MVP, First and Second Team All-District, All-Region, All-State, Academic All-State, McDonald's All-American, and TGCA All-Star honors. A number of her players have also earned college scholarships, and one even went on to become a professional athlete. In addition to high school teams, Donna has coached summer basketball camps for the past 25 years, teaching fundamental skills to approximately 1,000 elementary and middle school students in GISD and surrounding areas. Donna has developed an outstanding program at Sachse High School. Under her leadership, Sachse has established one of the strongest girls' athletic programs in the state. Responsible for hiring, scheduling, and mentoring all coaches of girls' sports at Sachse, her tenure in GISD has had a profound impact not only at SHS, but all across the district. Donna and her husband Joey live in Garland. They have 3 children, Jared, Carly, and Mackenzie. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Donna McCullough.
I tried to get smart this time and bring water so it wouldn't sound like I was having a stroke, but now there's nowhere to put it. Yeah. So, yeah, please. Again, I'm really honored to be here tonight to be inducted into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the other inductees as well. As a coach at Garland High School, I walked through that cafeteria many times and saw those pictures of all the Hall of Fame members on the wall, and honestly never dreamed that my picture would be put up along with those people. I personally know some of the coaches that are in the Hall of Fame now and in the past, and I know the job that they've done, and it's truly a privilege and an honor to be included in that group. A little bit about my background and getting to Garland, Texas. I grew up in a small community in Arkansas. My high school there was rated as a 3A school, but small in comparison to what we have here in Garland. My senior class had 200 graduates. My GPA and class rank put me right smack in the middle of that 200, so I was average. Before I started playing sports in school, we played outside, just like George said, and so my dad was always sure to have a basketball goal in our backyard. When we were younger, of course, it was lower, and then he would raise it up as we grew a little bit older and started playing a little bit more. When I entered the 7th grade, we started playing organized sports in school. All that we offered for girls at my school was basketball and track. I played basketball. I did not run track. I wasn't very fast. I didn't jump very high. I was an average athlete. But I was taller than everybody else, and so that gave me a little bit of advantage, and I was noticed a little bit more by my coach. Coach Bowley was my coach from 7th grade all the way through my senior year. He was a very good basketball coach, strong fundamentalist, strict disciplinarian, but taught me a lot about basketball, primarily about repetition and repeating something over and over again so that you could be better at it. So I learned a great lesson of that. Anything you want to be good at, you have to repeat it. Being an athlete gave me everything at that time: confidence, personality, work ethic, and friends to be with, a group to be with. I remember during that time, I told my dad, I'm going to go to college and play basketball. And he said to me in his most encouraging voice, which wasn't very encouraging, "You better start practicing." So I did practice, and fortunately I did earn that scholarship to go play basketball in college. And I did learn a lesson from that as well, that you have to work really hard at something to be good at it. In my freshman year of college, I figured out very quickly that I did not want to be in biology class or chemistry class. I wanted to be in the gym. And so I very quickly declared my major as a physical education in the education department and to be a coach. Also, wanting to be in that field, I wanted to do something for others, just like my coach did for me, in building confidence and a strong person out in the world. I earned my degree while being a basketball player and student in the physical education department. I could have stayed there forever, and my mom probably thought that I was going to, but eventually the real world came calling. So I came to GISD purely by chance. when I was looking for a head coaching job. After coaching 3 or 4 or 5 years, I was looking for a head coaching job in Texas, and I did what every young coach did at that time to find a job, which was I went to coaching school, went to the job room, and looked at the board to find an open position. While in there, I overheard a conversation from someone else talking about an open position for a head basketball coach at Garland High School. That coach was Lynn Duck. Lynn interviewed me and hired me. Thank you, Lynn, for that. I really didn't understand at that time what an important conversation it was to overhear. When I got the job at Garland High School, Johnny McCoy was my assistant coach, and Tasha Johnson was on my team. Tasha can only remember that we ran sprints every day. She doesn't remember anything else. And honestly, Tasha was the most respectful athlete in the program. I know that's a shock to most people in this room. But she never cursed me out. She never said anything negative. She worked hard every day. Yes, thank you. Also at that time, Homer was the athletic director, and Cliff was the assistant athletic director, and Judy was the head coach at Naaman Forest. I remember having some great, intense games with them, and that was one game that I hated to lose over any other, and I think that was because I respected Judy and the job that she did so much. Eventually, Judy became the assistant AD, and in 2005, she called me and she said, "I think you need to be at Saxe." And I've been at Saxe ever since. So thank you, Judy, for your insight and your support, your friendship over the years, and to Judy and Cliff for you've both had a huge influence on my career here, and your support has been so important. I appreciate that so much. I've been fortunate to work with some incredible administrators while I've been in Garland. At Garland High School, my principal was Bob Price. He was awesome to work for, great to see him every day. At Saxe, I had Steve Hammerly, Ray Merrill, and at present, I have Shay Creel. Steve Hammerly was always the ultimate positive principal. He was great at sending you the 2-word email of "see me," but then once you got there to the office, discussed whatever the matter was, then you never left his office without him telling you that he was happy that you were at Saxe High School, and I appreciate him so much. Also, Mr. Merrill, awesome to work for, and great times there with him. And at present, again, Mr. Creel is our principal. He's always there for encouragement, very competitive, and wants to win, always with the word of wisdom to pass your way, especially in the heat of competition. I will share an example. As we were playing in the regional tournament this year, he was there to give the team and coaches a high five on the way to the court to start the game with a lot of excitement. This was in the semifinal game. We proceeded to get 24 points down in the first quarter and had to fight back. By halftime, we had cut that down to 12. As the team exited the court to go to the locker room, he was there, of course, giving an encouraging word to the players as they walked into the locker room. I was the last one to the locker room, looking to him for some sort of, insight, what should we do, encouragement. And he said very quickly, "Well, the good news is you can't play any worse than you already have." But we proceeded to make the biggest comeback in school history to win the game, so thanks, Mr. Creel, for always knowing what we need to hear. I can't say enough about the athletes that I've had the privilege to coach in this district. They've been willing to give me everything and to believe in a vision and put in the work to get there. We've gotten close to reaching that goal twice in my career of coaching, and I'm so thankful. But the greatest thing about coaching is really not about winning or losing. I've had some great seasons, and I've had some seasons that were not considered great in wins and losses. The true reward is the relationship that we build with these athletes. the influence we can have with them to become strong women in society, the confidence that they gain, the lessons they learn that hopefully will guide them through life in a positive way. That's truly what every coach, how every coach wants to affect their players. My happiest moment is when my players come back and they say to me, "Coach, I would never have made it through that hard time if I hadn't played basketball for you." Okay, some of my former players are here tonight. A group of them surprised me from Garland High School that I haven't seen in a really long time. So I'm really happy to see them. But some of them, when they come back, they do tell me, "I never would have made it through that hard exam, through that hard time in my life if I hadn't been an athlete or played basketball for you." So that's really your proudest moment as a coach. Some of those athletes that are here tonight and out in the real world, they're teachers, they're principals, Jasmine, who's studying to be a doctor, some are moms that are staying at home, but it makes me super proud to see that they're being leaders in their profession. My assistant coaches that I've had over the years. One second. Sorry, that's my nervous thing. It happens in a game too. My coaches have to bring me water all the time. Most of my assistant coaches are here that have worked for me in the past. I've been fortunate to get coaches who have stayed with me for a really long time. And that's so important to the stability of your program when they stay with you for years. And so you're not actually reteaching the coaches at the same time that you're reteaching the players. Some of these coaches, or all these coaches, have actually become my best friends. We've gone through life events together, marriage, having babies, changing careers, all of those things that happen in real life, but we've stayed close together with all of them. At Garland High School, Angela Sharp, Jennifer Allgaier, and Joy Hill were with me for, Joy was just for a little bit. Angela stayed for about 8 years, I think. Jennifer was there for 3 or 4. At Saxe, you met Alexis and Katie. They were up here with me earlier. And Ashley Wilkerson, Casey Nelson. At present, I have Allison Holmes and Brittany Roberson. They do a great job with me at Saxe, and I appreciate all of them for being here tonight and supporting me always. My coaches my coaching staff at Saxe, they're here. They filled this table right here with me. I'm so happy that they came tonight. As an athletic coordinator, I'm so proud of the coaches that I work with and the job that they do every day as coaches and making our girls program what I believe one of the best programs in the state of Texas. Ricky, Kristen, Rodney, Allison, Jennifer, Sylvia, Kathy, Brittany, and my campus athletic director, Coach Behrens, is here tonight. So thank you all for being here. Coach Behrens is, again, my athletic director, and he's always so supportive of the girls program. I really appreciate him a lot. This year, this is unusual, so I'm going to tell this story. He even came in as a sub on my guys' team when my guys' team was practicing against my girls this year. We needed one more guy. And the door opened to the gym, and he ran in, ready to go. I think he even scored a couple of baskets and maybe blocked a shot. I'm not sure, but he's great at supporting us and doing anything that we need him to do. My family's here tonight, so I want to make mention of them. My mom's here. Thank you, Mom, for being at every game as I grew up and playing, following me everywhere and watching every game that we played in. My dad passed away when I was in high school, and so that left my mom as a single mom from my sophomore year of high school throughout the rest of that time. My dad was a great sports fan. He loved basketball, football, boxing, any sport that you could watch on TV. He loved that. There are many nights that he had us all in the living room watching a big game of the week together on the one TV in the house. I think we learned to compete from my dad. There was always a winner and a loser, and winning was always better than losing. I know if he were here, he and Mom would be at every game together cheering us on. My mom has been the greatest example of strength and perseverance for our family. I learned the greatest of life lessons from her example. If life brings you hardships, your character is defined by how you react. We watched her example. Throughout our life, she worked full-time, supported our family by herself, made sure we had everything we needed, and both of my parents were great examples of taking pride in the work that you do and having a strong work ethic. Thank you, Mom, for being here tonight. My sister Susan is here. Susan and I played basketball in high school together. We were a couple of years apart, but when we were younger, we didn't play 5-on-5 basketball until I was a sophomore in high school. Before that, we played 6-on-6 in Arkansas. And so I was an offensive player, and my sister was a defensive player. When we went 5-on-5 and we then had to practice together, she always guarded me in practice. So thank you, Susan, for making me better every day. My brother's here and my sister-in-law, Chris. They're also at every game, biggest fans, supporters, and my brother's became probably the best scouter that you could ever find. He brings up more information on every opponent that we play in a true scouting report. So I appreciate them for being here tonight too. My daughter Mackenzie's here. Her twin Carly could not be here. Jared could not be here, but Mackenzie's here, and Carly and Mackenzie, I'm very proud of the fact that they were products of GISD. They graduated from Sachse High School in 2015. They were multi-sport athletes. They played almost every sport that you could play while they were there. They were coached by almost every coach on our staff, and I'm so appreciative of the life lessons that they learned through playing sports at Sachse. They're both juniors in college, and I'm so proud that they're both getting their degree in education and plan to be coaches. My husband Joey's here. I met my husband when we were both young coaches in Texarkana. We were both head track coaches at one time. And at this particular time, I had my CDL, and he did not. There was a minor incident at the DMV that he could not get his CDL. So I had to drive the bus for his track team, and the girls and boys had to go together. So I was the designated bus driver. So to all you coaches out there that don't have your CDL yet, that could be, something that could happen for you as well. Joey, he's the head football coach at Plano East. He's the best coach that I know. I've learned a lot from him, and over the years, and I really don't know how we've been able to juggle football coaching, basketball coaching, having twins, Jared, softball seasons all at the same time, but we've been able to work it out. So thank you always for your support. I'm here tonight on this stage because of the opportunities that basketball has given me. In junior high, it gave me confidence to be bigger and better than my average ability. In high school, it gave me a scholarship to attend college so my mom wouldn't have to pay for it. As a college basketball player, I was able to earn my degree to teach and coach. My degree gave me my first coaching job. The lessons that I've learned from being in basketball to survive in the real world are the best and the worst of days. I learned that an average athlete with average grades that is willing to work to be better every day in anything that you choose to do can be successful. I feel very fortunate that my passion as a basketball player in a small town, a small school environment, has developed into my passion in coaching in one of the largest school districts in the state of Texas. Coaching basketball has given me the opportunity can't hear that. Sorry. Coaching basketball has given me the opportunity to work with young girls and hopefully influence them to be strong, confident adults in the real world like my coach did for me. But most importantly, build relationships that will last forever with them. And as a bonus, my friend Jennifer, who coached with me at Garland High School, has said many times, we somehow found a way to wear sweats to work every day. Lastly, I'm so thankful that I just by chance walked into that job room many years ago to overhear a conversation. It's truly been a privilege to coach in Garland ISD, where I'm working alongside the people that have become my best friends and are like family to me. Again, I appreciate this honor so much. Thank you.
Coach McCullough, I knew by this time it'd be getting a little repetition when I told everybody it was already in the program. So I asked Red to help me on this one. Do you think it's safe to read this?
I don't know.
All right, maybe better wait then. So from the Office of the Mayor, special recognition in honor of Donna McCullough, Garland Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Now therefore I, Douglas Athos, Mayor of the City of Garland, together with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition upon Donna McCullough.
All right, congratulations once again, Coach McCullough. Our final 2018 inductee was a standout student athlete at Naaman Forest High School, just like George said when Mr. Lyons was a principal there, so that's a pretty neat thing. He was also a past winner of the Gail Fields Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Matthew Shubzda's video.
Matthew Shubzda graduated from Naaman Forest High School in 1994. His many high school successes were both on and off the playing field. He was a two-sport athlete in football and baseball. He was captain of the football team during his senior year, a Ranger Heart recipient, and a Garland Sports Hall of Fame Outstanding Male Student Athlete honoree. As a junior, Matthew's coach, Garland Sports Hall of Famer Cliff Oldenwald, suggested he try the quarterback position. Matthew moved without hesitation and played the position for the next 20 games. His accomplishments off the field include President of the Class of 1994, Treasurer of the Student Council, Member of the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Beta Club, and National Spanish Honor Society, Class Favorite, All Naaman Forest, Mr. Naaman Forest High School, and Who's Who among American high school students honors. Matthew graduated number 6 in a class of 256 with a 4.26 GPA. Having his choice of West Point, U.S. Air Force Academy, and U.S. Naval Academy appointments, Matthew accepted his appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy. Matthew embraced the challenge and always worked to be the best he could be at the Naval Academy. He overcame athletic obstacles and worked to maintain his spot on the Navy football team, where he played defensive back in addition to special teams. His Navy football highlights include the Army-Navy games his junior and senior years, as well as the Navy's Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl championship win in 1997. Upon graduating from the Naval Academy in 1998, Matthew attended flight school to live out his dream of becoming a fighter pilot. He stayed at the top of his class and earned the right to fly the Navy's newest jet fighter, the FA-18 Super Hornet. During a routine training mission off the coast of Big Sur, Lieutenant Matthew Shubzda was killed when two F-18 Super Hornets from the Black Aces Squadron collided midair on October 18, 2002. Lieutenant Matt Shubzda was just 27 years old. While Matthew had an accomplished life following his dream, he is most remembered for the support he provided to those he loved. Matthew can best be described as a person who had time for everyone. Others always came first in Matthew's life. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking on behalf of the Shubzda family, please welcome Drew Shubzda.
Before I get started, after sitting over here in misery for the last hour and a half, knowing that I'm the very last speaker of the night, I've come to the conclusion that there's a good thing and a bad thing about that. Bad thing is you sweat profusely knowing that you're about to speak in front of your mom and dad. Good thing is I've been able to rewrite this speech 3 times. My name is Drew Shubzda. I'm standing up here this evening on behalf of the Shubzda family and inductee Matt Shubzda. I'm honored to say a few words about my oldest brother, Matt. I want to first congratulate all inductees, outstanding GISD athletes, and Gail Fields recipients. I want to thank each and every person that made it here this evening. This is a special time for the inductees, their friends, families, GISD, and the Garland Sports Hall of Fame team. I personally have had a chance to stand up in front of GISD faculty, students, and parents a few times in the past, and each and every time I am nervous but stand very proud. It seems over time, when I've had that opportunity to speak, it's on behalf of my oldest brother and best friend, Matt. Each and every time, it is an honor and means the world to me. I love the Garland School District and every person involved in the community. Matt was a '94 grad at Naaman Forest and played football under good friend, mentor, and great American Cliff Odenwald. There's not enough time to stand up here and talk about the good things Coach Odenwald did, how he led, inspired, and taught the athletes that were fortunate enough to play under him, and how he continues to guide the GISD athletic department. Might have to switch from the old, oh, got it. My brother Matt was a quarterback for Odenwald during his high school career. With the first graduating class at Naaman being in '92, they were a new, young, and growing high school. Although they did not have the most stellar team, one thing they did have was respect, drive, sheer determination, and heart. Matt was a decent athlete in high school, but it was his teammates that helped Matt stand out when he did. Some of those friends and part of the team that were the original Naaman Forest Rangers are here with us tonight. Thank you, Clay Underwood and Toby Glazier, for being here and being so supportive of my brother. You all made Matt look better than he really was, and your support never wavered. The Ranger win-loss record may not have been the best in Naaman history, but there was a bond and brotherhood that could not be matched. I will never forget, I watched an old video that you all did in high school, and one of the questions was, what was your favorite memory of the football season? Matt's response was, the game I did not throw an interception in. And both of you looked at Matt with a face that I'll remember this day, and you asked, which game was that? After graduating in '94, Matt left Garland for the United States Naval Academy, which he chose over Notre Dame, West Point, and the Air Force Academy because it afforded him the opportunity to continue playing football. Matt loved the game of football and the camaraderie of his teammates at Navy. His proudest moments were taking the field at the college's greatest rivalries, the Army-Navy game, and taking the field in December of '98 at the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl in Hawaii. Matt treasured all of these experiences as he did every moment in his life. Matt left the Naval Academy and football to follow another dream, that of becoming a naval aviator. His passion, love for life, and chasing his dreams was lived out every time he climbed into the cockpit. But this is also where the dreams ended. October 18, 2002, one training flight took his life and that of 4 others. Tonight I chose to remember all the things that made my brother the person he was, and why even 15 years after his death, I am honored to stand here. His involvement in sports helped mold him, but more important than any athletic accolades were the things I witnessed about the type of person he was. Some of the members here this evening that were at the early stages of Naaman might remember Little Timmy. Little Timmy owned one pair of shoes, and they were full of holes. Matt Shubzda and a few friends stepped up and bought Little Timmy a new pair of shoes, because that's the type of person Matt was. Matt cared about others. I know Matt is smiling down right now and is very proud. But Matt would care more about the others being inducted tonight. George Lyons. He would be so proud of you and honored to stand up here by your side this evening. You mean the world to our family. Tim Shubzda, another brother of mine, who also was an athlete here in Garland, was not able to make it. He is still serving this great country, and he is in Germany right now. Please keep Tim and his family in your thoughts and prayers. He did send a few comments that I'd like to read. From Tim. Congratulations to all the inductees. What an accomplishment. Those that had the opportunity to play with or watch Matt know that sports was something he excelled at. Along with God-given talents, Matt had the intangibles that made him a good athlete and leader. But sports didn't define Matt. His purpose in life was much greater. I'd like to share a short story that shares the type of person Matt was. Time. It's precious, and we never seem to have enough of it. When we do, most of us seem to find things to do with it that doesn't involve others. Not Matt. Matt had time for everyone. I remember back to Matt's memorial in California, I had a chance to meet some of the men and women he flew with. I'll never forget one specific conversation I had. Although his name slips my mind, the words he shared do not. He introduced himself and immediately told me the impact Matt had on him. I recall him explaining that he was the underdog, didn't fit perfectly in, looked a bit different, but Matt was always had time for me. He spoke to the impact Matt had on his life and how he treated him like part of the team. I can still see the gratitude in his face when he spoke to me. Matt made a difference in his life. I leave you with this. Until recent years, I always struggled with why Matt was taken at 27 years old. God has helped me realize that only a few special people could make the impact Matt did in 27 years. And that's from Tim. In conclusion, I would like to say thank you to Don Kennedy and Coach Behrens, who thought enough of Matt to submit his name for this honor. To the Garland Sports Hall of Fame for selecting my brother, and to all that have continued to honor Matt in so many ways. My family is forever grateful and humbled. Thank you will never seem like enough. From the entire Shubzda family, thank you.
Drew, I always rewrite my speeches 3 times too. So from the Office of the Mayor, special recognition in honor of Matt Shubzda, Garland Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Now therefore I, Douglas Athas, Mayor of the City of Garland, together with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition upon Matt Shubzda by giving this 25th day of April 2018. I'd like to say that there's a lot of really wonderful people in Garland. There's heroes. There's people that come and come to Garland and leave, and we're all over the world. We have so many heroes, and I'd like to recognize your brother as one of those heroes. And I know that heroes usually come from heroic families. So for all of you that are here tonight, this is very special for me to be here with you on his honor.
All right, as we conclude this evening, I want to speak to the young people in the audience tonight. I want to thank you for providing all of us with memories, thrills, losses, and victories. I speak for many of us in this room tonight when I say that we know how hard you have worked, we know the sweat you have dripped, the time you have committed, the sacrifices that you have made to be the best student athlete you can possibly be. The great baseball novelist W.P. Kinsella said, "Any game becomes important when you know and love the players." Students, we know you, we love you, and may the path you travel continue to be one of happiness and truth. On behalf of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, We'd like to thank the Curtis Colwell Center, the GISD Department of Communications, the GISD Printing Department, GRS-TV, the Lakeview Centennial Drill Team and Drumline for being here this evening, Dr. Wendy Eldridge for all her help in organizing this event, all of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame sponsors, and all of the special guests here tonight. On behalf of the Hall, thank you very much.